Hi and welcome to PTSD Awareness. In this, we will take one step at a time and we'll talk about different elements of PTSD, and I have also invited our trauma specialist Keerthi to throw light on each of these topics that I'll talk about in all the different questions that we will ask. Now, healing from post-traumatic stress disorder, we all know, can be challenging. It can be a challenging process, but it is possible. Remember, healing will take time, and it's important to be gentle with yourself as you work through the effects of PTSD. As a part of the question, I will begin asking Keerthi on some specific questions around PTSD, and I will look forward to her responses. So let's get started on that. Hi Keerthi, so my first question is, that considering to find a therapist who's experienced in treating PTSD is so critical, it is so important. We all know that a certified and experienced therapist can guide the client through evidence-based therapies such as cognitive behavior therapy or EMDR. Can you tell us a little more about what to look for in such a therapist? How do I know that I'm actually reaching out to the right person who can help me heal from my PTSD symptoms?
Hi, thank you so much for the question. So the first thing you want to look at in treatment of trauma is you want to be able to find somebody who can help you with the past, who is skilled at talking about or helping you talk about the trauma that's happened with you. So I mean, the therapy modalities like CBT, DBT, the postmodern therapies, they are excellent in terms of working with what is happening in the moment, regulating your emotions, and helping you manage through what is happening in your everyday functioning. And helping you manage that and getting you control over that. Whereas if you want to get to the root of treating the trauma that an individual has experienced, you want to be able to work with somebody who is willing to tap into those past memories and help you go and talk about those. In that process of you talking about those is being non-judgmental, is giving you that safe space, is helping you explore and process your emotions at that time and help you heal through what has happened in the past. So I always tell my clients this. So finding a therapist is like, say, going into the store and finding something. So you want to you don't know how good they are until you get into it. So until you buy it, you don't know. But you do use the face value in terms of their qualification, their experience, their reviews, the kind of resources they can provide, any referrals. If you have a doctor who's connected to this therapist who's referring you, then that's more credibility. If you see somebody who's already healed and it's a word of mouth that you got a reference, then that is some kind of a credibility. So those can narrow down your search, but it's always good for the client to ask as many questions as they can to the therapist or the company that they are going through. And I, as a therapist, I always leave that door open for my clients to ask me any questions or even challenge me in terms of what I am doing or what I'm using in my sessions with them. So as much as the therapist has knowledge about healing your trauma, you have the ability to control who your therapist would be. So you should take the control and you should ask the therapist how they can benefit you, how they can heal you during the process. Now, a lot of people can question asking, why do we actually need therapy, especially for trauma? And my best response is because we are social creatures, and because we are hurt in relationships, and that means most of the healing will happen through relationships. And there's many number of reasons why people, don't want therapy. It could be because they don't have the money. Yes, that is understandable. That's a valid response. And sometimes people, are afraid to work with people because they are scared, or they fear to become vulnerable again, or they're very fragile. And then they don't want to show that part of themselves because they're ashamed of that, and then they think that's not a good reason for them to be in therapy. But I say that should actually be a good reason for them to be in therapy, because therapy is going to help them heal through that, and therapy is going to make them feel much more confident about themselves and move on from what has happened to them. And like I said, we all are social creatures. That's how we are born, and we can heal through relationships, and you can heal through the relationship you form with your therapist. So there shouldn't be any reason how a good therapist is not able to help you. They definitely can heal you from what you have experienced. So check out, go explore, narrow down to a few therapists, contact everybody, and find who's best for you. Good luck.
Thank you, Keerthi. That was a brilliant and very descriptive response to how to look for a good therapist and what to look for in them. And for those who are listening to this I would definitely say that if you are still in search of finding a therapist that you can trust, look no further. Believe me, Keerthi on our team is one of the best that I have come across in 44 years of my age. I have never met a therapist who can be so compassionate, who can be so listening, and can be so experienced and so systematic in actually helping you deal with your trauma and be aware of what's actually happening to you. And we have got amazing reviews on Keerthi's approach and how quickly actually and how systematically she can help people move past their trauma and begin their healing process. So if you are still looking, if any of you are looking for trauma healing, do consider Keerthi for sure. PTSD is a stress response to a traumatic event. If you or anyone you know requires support or guidance, please feel free to contact us at lovelivelearn.in. Link is in description. Our team consists of certified and experienced therapists who also specialize in trauma healing. We are with you in your holistic wellness journey.